Coming to you live from Studio B, aka the basement. It's time for another episode of Dope Chats with me, Stretch. Just waiting for my guest to arrive, none other than my man TJ Smith. Thank you all for taking time out to join me tonight. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Sit back, relax, enjoy. It's going to be a good show tonight as we give you Dope Chats with Stretch. That's me. All right, got my man TJ joining right now. Let's get this thing started. My brother.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Everything is good, man. Thanks for taking time out to join me tonight, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Thanks for having me, my man.
Always love, man. You know how we do, man. We go way back. So
way back like 8 tracks. Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Yes,
you
indeed.
still looking like you're 20, and I done aged a few years. You know, this is good.
All this is 20. Up here, 73.
Oh, I got a hat on because my hair is very healthy.
Yeah.
The quarantine has made it even healthier. So, yeah.
And as you know, as we used to say back in the day, I'm woofing right here. If I can take some of this and put it up here, I'll be good to go, man.
Well, they do that these days, so you can get hooked up if you want. Go ahead.
Man.
Hey,
I don't want to do that to myself.
If you go get a weave, you know we're going to be cracking on you.
Oh,
you know it. You already know.
All day. And I do not want no parts of that. You know?
You know it.
It's all good, man. So listen, man, thanks again for taking time out. Welcome, everybody. And you are now live inside Dope Chats with yours truly, Stretch. And tonight, my guest is none other than Baltimore Mayoral candidate TJ Smith. Mr. Smith, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I mean, under the circumstances,
right.
I can't complain. A lot going on to keep me busy, but I can't complain.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. How have you been coping since the pandemic has hit the United States?
Well, coping and campaigning all at the same time. So it's been crazy because we basically had almost a 2-month blackout period of not being able to go out and campaign the way we want to. I mean, when you decide to get involved in such a thing like this, you expect it to go by on schedule.
Right.
And everything is regimented and on a schedule. And for it to get thrown upside down back in March the way it did, and now what we're dealing with the ballots and everything else, it's been crazy. Expect the unexpected, but that's what we have to do. And from a leadership standpoint, you have to be ready to make decisions because you never know what tomorrow could bring. And it's been crazy, but we've been managing. Everybody's healthy. That's most important. But it's challenging because you get antsy after a while. I mean, who wants to be stuck basically isolated within a house for 60 days? So it's been tough, but managing, making it through.
Yeah, because I noticed, like, as I follow your campaign, that I know that you're very grassroots in the simple fact that you like to go door to door, you like to knock on, you like to meet the people. So having that opportunity to pretty much vanish, like, how have you been utilizing the virtual aspect of things?
This, man, I'm like a pro at Zoom. I did a WebEx yesterday, Google Hangouts, Microsoft, the Facebook Lives, all of that. You name it. If it's on social media or available through using the computer, I'm doing it. So the virtual way of meeting people. I just got off a forum not long ago. So did a forum tonight, did one last night. Actually, I think I did 2 or 3 yesterday. So still being able to reach people, but it's different. I mean, trust me, my energy came from being around people and speaking to people and being right in front of them. And I was changing people's minds and how they voted. So I think that opportunity still presents itself. And we're going to keep pushing. We 13 days left, not that I'm counting.
Yeah, 13 days left, man. Time flies, man. Because I can remember,
for you, it's been long. Yeah, it ain't flown nothing. It feels like every single day was 24 hours, and especially with this pandemic, it made the days longer. My days, when we were going down the, like March, especially February, March, my days started early in the morning. Take the kid to school, meetings right after that. It was pretty much morning till night. And I'm exhausted. I was sleeping good because you were just exhausted mentally and physically. And the days were flying by. And I remember, I think it was in March, I was running out of days to schedule things. And that was the one moment where I said to myself, damn, I wish I had more time. I wish that wish would have been for hitting a lotto or something, because I got that more time. Lord knows I don't want it now, but I should have wished for hitting a big game or something. But, you know, I got more time.
You got more
time.
Not
the way I wanted it, but I got it.
That's what's up. So let's talk about the pandemic, how it's been affecting so many folks in and around the city. What are some of the stories that you've been picking up and I guess getting from some of your constituents?
Yeah. So now that we're 60 days in, I think the first couple of weeks and then month, people were like, okay, every precaution is in place. But you read any of those books, the Covey books on habits. After 30 days, you start forming a habit. Mm-hmm. And I feel like now that we're in this, now I think we're about to hit the post 60-day mark if we aren't already there. I think it's a little beyond 60 days now. People have formed habits. Right. And I think I was the only candidate yesterday when we were interviewed about should the city reopen restaurants with outdoor seating that said, damn right we should. I was talking about it for the last week and a half, as a matter of fact. And it's not putting health aside. It's we understand what we need to do to keep each other healthy.
Right.
And we look at things like, why is it that I can go get a snowball and go to Walmart, but I can't go to Home Goods? It's just foolish. So I think we need some continuity and messaging and where we are with this to start gradually letting the economy get back, letting people get back to what our new normal is going to be. Because what's going to ultimately happen is people are going to revolt and they're going to just start doing stuff like we saw over the past weekend. And then we're trying to control that, and trying to put the genie back in the bottle is more difficult than saying, okay, here you go. It's like trying to get your daughter not to go out on a date. You know, you hold her too long, you know what you're going to end up with, a wild girl, because you got to let her, you know. And I say that I probably end up getting in trouble for that, politically correct or your son. Geez, I got to get, you know, got to remember this politics stuff. But you can't hold your kids back from doing things with friends, trying to control them. You have to gradually give them responsibility. And I feel like that's where we are. Let people get some responsibility. And if they violate the responsibility, you hold them accountable.
Right. That's true, man. That's true. Yeah. You know, it's funny, man, because I really I'm just super excited for you, man, because I remember, I mean, we go back, of course, we went to high school together, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Woodlawn High School, and just to see the transition that you've made, you know, from working in the police department to finding your calling, man, which is the people. You know, you want to help the people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really admire you for that. And I think that, man, whatever happens, you're gonna be good either way, man. And
hey, bro, I'm a man of faith, and I had my answer of what the outcome of this was preordained before I even got into this. And I think, like, if I was a lifelong politician and I'm running for re-election or running for higher office, then psychologically it's probably going to have a different effect for me, the outcome.
Right.
When I look at this as, you know, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. If it doesn't work out, I know that I'm going to do something else.
Right.
And you know, been through trials and tribulations in life. So this is just another moment. And it's a big moment, obviously. We got big things, big stuff we want to accomplish. And, you know, we're giving it our best shot, giving it our all. And, you know, I was first in the polls back in March when this pandemic hit. Another poll came out today. A lot of people were questioning it, but the crazy thing about the poll today, 63% of the people were either undecided or not committed to the person that they said they're voting for. Crazy. Wow. At this late stage in the game. So yeah, still a lot of opportunity.
But like you said, expect the unexpected. Because
expect the unexpected. Yeah.
Anything is unpredictable, a la Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some joints, man, because I was really doing some research, and one of the things that stuck out to me on your website, man, which is really, really dope. The first thing you see: new mayor, new culture, new Baltimore. Expound on that.
I mean, if we look at the problems that we've had over a decade, really, publicly, the culture is what really needs to change. We can keep changing the people, but if we don't change the culture, we're going to still have the problems. So we have to change that culture in order to create a new Baltimore. And, you know, when people say we need to get back to, I'm like, well, what do you want to go back to? If we go back to a specific time, I can point out a specific problem that discriminated against people or allow police to be rogue or whatever the case might be, where violence was off the hook. So we need to make Baltimore better than it's ever been. And part of that is a new Baltimore. Like, I take offense to last year when your president called Baltimore an S-hole.
Right.
And everybody went to social media, and I say everybody. Some segments of Baltimore went to social media with the hashtag We Are Baltimore, and all of the pictures were from downtown around the waterfront. And I'm like, y'all don't even live down there. No one went over to West Baltimore where the vacant homes are and where the violence is occurring and took pictures saying We Are Baltimore. It's like this fictitious image of what Baltimore is the way that we responded to it instead of acknowledging the fact that we have our issues, we have our concerns. If you want to call us something, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
So that's kind of how I looked at things. Like, we know we have these two Baltimores, and now that somebody calls it out, no matter how much of an idiot we might think he is, let's not get so much bravado that we can't acknowledge, well, there's something you can do about it.
Right.
And not give this fictitious thing of around the water. I mean, I still don't have any friends that have a waterfront apartment that overlooks the harbor. I mean, you know, that's not my life. So,
right.
Yeah.
And, you know, the harbor's the harbor, man. You know.
I mean, I love it.
I like it.
It's not, that's a part of Baltimore. It's not representative of the whole. So, yeah.
So let's talk on, and you know, I'm gonna stick on politics for like a hot second.
Yeah.
I want to get into what we came here to do, and that's just to chop it up, man.
Yes, sir.
So I know some of your main points, major points that you want to hit on, and that mean a lot to you, more or less, is fixing the school system. The school system. What is it that, or can you expound on where it is or what it is that you would like to do to help increase and get Baltimore City schools back to, you know, that upper tier of functionality?
So obviously violence is like number one, and everybody knows that. And that's something that we have to really go hard at identifying and solving. But when we talk about the school system, my mom's been teaching here in Baltimore for 36 years. And the gap that we're seeing right now with this COVID-19 and the kids not being able to go to school, let me tell you something, man. You know, my son got to wake up tomorrow and do the homeschooling thing. Man, it's crazy. He ain't in it. Man, shit's crazy. Crazy. I mean, I can't deal. I mean, I got anxiety thinking about waking up early tomorrow morning and starting the homeschooling thing because it's going to stress me out. I had to go to YouTube and watch videos on how to teach kids how to divide because I was struggling. I'm like, how do I teach them how to divide? It's challenging.
It's a new math they got right now, man.
Man, and that's a whole nother thing. They don't do math the way we did math, so you have to learn. I'm like, man, come on. So getting through those challenges has been something, and I look at that, and you look at that once again as a moment, but you look at the school system. The school system has to be creative.
Right.
Teachers have Master of Art degrees, Master in the Arts. And that style of teaching, we have to let them teach. We have to let them go out and do what it is they do to educate our young people. And they need the resources. And I think we can champion some things.
Right.
One of the big things that I would love to put in place, and on my website under education, you'll see an area called advocacy, because the mayor, the county executives don't set the curriculums for schools, but that says advocacy. It talks about financial literacy. No one's going to teach a kid how to, I'll say, balance a checkbook. That's done on an app these days. But no one's going to teach you what a credit score means, what taxes mean. And you turn 18 and you blow your credit, then you're 25 trying to repair things when you're trying to get life going or whatever. These are life skills that make productive citizens that should be taught. And I look at that as a form of oppression, not teaching our kids some of the basic things that create generational wealth.
Right.
And my mom taught me about credit when I was younger, and I never had a late payment in my life. And I've gotten to exude that as an adult. You know, I go to the car dealership and, you know, like, yeah, I want to get a car. And they look at me, I might have my sweatpants on or something, and then they run my credit. Oh, sir, so what one was it? You qualify for the best rates. Oh, yeah, now you want to be nice.
Right.
Sell me that car. But the power that you can assume through financial independence is something we aren't teaching. Right. Even things like relationships, mental health, diet, you know, because it's late. You know, I know you're a diabetic and you talk about that often.
Right.
How much did we learn about that as kids growing up, making decisions? I mean, you know, you probably still eating that Greek Village. I'm not. But, you know, you going to eat these subs at 3 o'clock in the morning, not thinking about it because you're going to be up. Now I eat a sub at 3 o'clock in the morning. The next day I'm like, wow, how come my belt ain't getting all the way around? You feel it immediately. So learning things and dealing with relationships, even understanding signs of abuse. These are things that I'm championing, whatever the word is, right?
You got it.
For education, because that is part of the sustainability.
Right. So. And you know, another thing that you touched on earlier, whomever comes in as the new mayor has a lot of challenges that they have already in front of them. And one of the main challenges, of course, is crime. Crime has just affected the city. It continues to affect the city. You know, what are some of the challenges or some of the some of the, I guess, more or less, what are some of the steps that you want to work on in eradicating or bringing down the crime in Baltimore?
Well, it's a few things that I believe have to be done. The coordination is one of them. Go ahead and pin that for me. That's how we're doing. I'm playing director real quick. But the coordination and collaboration is a big deal, right? Trying to think about this. So I want to really dumb this down before we move on into other topics. If you're out and about, when we were younger, right, and you're with a group of people and you might be up to something mischievous and you see your neighbor, Miss Johnson, and she say, "Hey, Stretch, I see you." You're like, "Oh, man." Your behavior changes because you know someone connected to your family or connected to an authority figure sees you. Right. The same way and style can be accomplished on the streets if we, as people of authority, the different facets of government, are connecting and contacting people who are at high risk of committing crimes. We know. So when there's a homicide, somebody's killed, there are a lot of emotions around it. The people most closely associated with that homicide victim should be touched by the police immediately, by different areas, state's attorneys, police, whatever, and just a breathing, a calm down period. If people psychologically know, damn, they know who I am, they could be less likely to go carry out a crime, because retaliation is a big part of the violence that we're experiencing. You got one of ours, I'm gonna go back and get one of yours, back and forth, back and forth. So really, and we also have to allow police to do their job again. And when they say do their job again, obviously not violate the Constitution, but do your job and hold people accountable. And you know, most people don't really understand this or know this. You're safer in the criminal justice system carrying a gun than you are carrying drugs in your pocket. The clear and present danger is the gun, is the person illegally possessing the gun. It's not the drugs in your pocket. And you know, people are held more accountable for drugs and guns. So the justice system has to catch up.
Yeah, that it does, brother. That it does. So let's talk about like your years as a police officer. Give me it gave you the perspective and the insight on what's troubling the city. What are some of the lessons that you've experienced or that you've learned that you think that you can take forward to being the mayor of Baltimore?
Well, I wasn't in the Baltimore Police Department as a sworn officer. I was a civilian there. but it still allowed me a perspective to see things.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did work as a police officer and then later commander, it's really that police community relationship. It's not over exaggerated. It's going to take time to build, but it's such an opportunity. It's such an opportunity for us because, again, when you know people, people are more likely to tell you things, and it's not even snitching. It's a conversation, in general conversation. How are the kids? Kids are great. You know, so and so got a birthday coming up. Man, if y'all came around here at 8:50 every night, they line up right around that corner. That y'all could catch them all. Simple stuff like that changes a community.
Right.
It gets more people involved. So bringing more people around, more people involved, and me having been in, I can sniff out some of the bull crap too. You got a lot of bull crap with it. I can sniff it out. But bringing that perspective, but I look at it as a perspective of a kid born and raised in Baltimore, someone who's been affected directly by the violence as well. Young black guy, of course, and having been on the other side and been in government. And I worked for 3 different governments. Mm-hmm. So bringing a holistic perspective is, I think, my strong suit, my biggest opportunity.
I agree, man. The funny thing about it too that you touched on, like growing up, when I was younger, when you were younger, of course, you still had, police officers who came around the neighborhoods, not to rile up anything, but they had good relationships with the community, and I think over the years, that relationship has dissipated. It's definitely.
And technology played a role in that. I mean, you have, whether it's computers or these cell phones, it's so much to entertain you inside of a car. What's funny, I remember when I transferred to Woodlawn from Poly. And I remember like hearing the stories about Woodlawn, calling it Hoodlawn. I actually still thought Poly was, believe it or not, worse than Woodlawn. But I remember the police were out front, like sitting on a hill or whatever. I'm like, police at the school? Good. Because it wasn't, Baltimore City school police, but I don't remember, it wasn't a cop at Poly every day.
Right.
So it was a different thing seeing a police officer at school. But they're not supposed to be an adversary, but the implicit bias thing is something that has to be worked on within law enforcement as well. In general, you deal with it in stores, but the implicit bias and all that. So, yeah.
Speaking of Woodlawn, how odd is it that you're running against another Woodlawn alum?
I don't count them. Yeah. I don't even. It's so funny because him and I are so different.
Right.
It's funny. We're so different. It doesn't even dawn on me most of the time that we came from the same high school. And we only a short overlap, obviously, but we're from 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
But what I like more than anything is I look at the majority of us in this race. We're all public school kids. At the end of the day, we're all public school kids. We're not, we didn't go through our whole career in private schools or anything. We were afforded the same education as every other young person, and we were able to take advantage of it and do what we're doing. Right. So if anything, hopefully young people can see they can get that free education from Baltimore City Public Schools or the Baltimore County Public Schools and take it into something. I ultimately got 2 master's degrees, and I'm enjoying the hell out of this student loan break. Brother ain't got a job right now. I went and checked that thing. It said 0 due. I'm like, man, y'all might make me want to go vote for Elizabeth Warren with her grant she's selling about canceling student loans. Like,
man, I need to take advantage of that myself, man. I'm still paying on them student loans.
They just can't. They just stopped mine. I didn't even ask them. I was going to keep on paying it, but they stopped it, and I am honored, and I hope that so there's a bill right now that the Democrats passed in the House that would give $10,000 to people with outstanding student loans. So my hope is that they put that in some account, let it auto withdraw, and then I'll hit my mark for loan forgiveness and try to get into loan forgiveness. It's criminal, man. It's like I couldn't imagine if I was 22 with some of the loans that I have, you know, and you got to find a job just to keep up with it. So yeah, it's crazy. But anyway,
the day I decide to have kids and I have to send that kid to college, they better be the smartest kid in the world, man.
Well, you better start paying. You better start saving now.
You ain't never lying, man. So let's talk on just life in general, man. Because I know, like you, like myself, of course, with my background in radio and just a connoisseur and love of music. I know you love music, man.
Love it.
How has music helped you, or has it been helping you cope through this moment of quarantine?
I think one of my new favorite songs is "Last Night a DJ Saved My Life." I mean, bro, I tell you, one of the most special moments of this whole quarantine that I won't soon forget. You know, D Nice, obviously everybody knows D Nice, but my mom watches D Nice, I watch D Nice, and my son knows who D Nice is. He's 7. So 3 generations of people, and we all watching it at one time. And I thought it was super dope that my mom inboxed me one day. She's like, "You watching D Nice?" I'm like, what are you doing? What the crazy? So that's kind of like, you know, we all at Odell's together or something. Right. It's unbelievable. So looking at those moments and seeing truly how music has brought us all together and healed all of us.
Right.
Last night I was listening to Ninth Wonder, and I'm like, I wanted to go to bed early, but he was rocking.
Right.
And he was going through the decades and the years. He was in 95 and 96 by the time I finally fell asleep with it on.
Wow.
You know, but being able to reminisce and get escape from everything, because it's been so much going on, so serious what we're dealing with, first of all, but it's also serious, you know, with the campaign that I have to run, and just, you know, I'm trapped around 4 walls most days, and I'm not able to go out. I mean, I can go out and exercise every now and again, but not able to be around a bunch of people like I was. So, man, oh man, the music has been fun, entertaining. You know, the versus stuff has been great. I think we're going to see some really good music, and for the sake of your profession, radio, I'm like a radio dork too. I love radio. And I love real radio DJs who know the music that they're playing. Right. To get some of the history of the music and the stories behind the music has been fun and an educational experience going through this.
And, you know, it's funny because when you speak about verses, like verses has definitely been like the quintessential place to be on a Saturday night.
Yes.
You know, and like, for instance, the Nelly and Luda was off the chain.
Yes.
Like Nelly's, you know, internet connection. But
how we get it right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Nelly got that Boost mobile internet, you know. But there's so many great artists that they're putting up to see, not only because I don't even look at it as a competition. It's just it's a love of the music, and an opportunity as a fan to sit back and watch 2 of your favorite artists or producers or whomever it may be, kind of just, like you said, tell their story, where they were when they wrote this song, what was going on, and so forth. Let's talk about some verses. Now, if you had a chance to pick some of your favorite, you know, MCs or artists or producers to battle it out, who would you like to see next on the dot?
So I would put Missy and Busta Rhymes up against one another. I think they're creative and they could give us a lot of entertainment and people have a fun time at it. Right. And it's a man versus woman, which I think will break it up a bit. We need to get some of these producers out there. Rodney Jerkins, Chucky Thompson, Dallas Austin. These cats are behind some of the biggest stuff of our era. And they would do some phenomenal stuff. I would even like to see, whether it be 2 DJs or whatever, a West Coast DJ, East Coast DJ, go Biggie versus Pac, and show us what that would have looked like, and let people enjoy that moment. I mean, I think it's some people I think that are on a different level than everybody else. Jay-Z can't battle anybody. It's just no one that he can battle. Quite honestly, LL can't battle anybody. LL. I don't know that if there's an artist out that's had more hits over the decades than him. I mean, 5 decades he's had a hit, basically. 4.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4.
sure. So, yeah, you know, I think, you know, if we're gonna have one with Lauryn Hill, somebody probably needs to tell her it starts now so she can get there on time, because she will find a way to get the verses late, and she's quarantined at home. You know,
Hey,
man,
well,
man.
and plus also, but Lauren, it would have to be a Lauren slash Fuji joint because I love Lauren. She got one album.
Yeah,
One album.
true.
So
Yeah, she really. I mean, arguably, she might not even have 20 hits. I mean, although we can put Miseducation Lauryn Hill on from front to back and let that rock. But I mean, like Mary J, it's nobody that can battle Mary J. She doesn't. She, I would like, and maybe they can look at mixing it up a little bit if they start running out of people to battle, to have Mary come on by herself and just talk about the inspiration behind 20 of her biggest records or whatever.
right.
And because the behind the scenes stories of this, like, it wasn't really until Kim Porter passed away that it became so well known that Albie Shore wrote that "Forever My Lady" for Kim Porter when she was pregnant with Quincy at the time.
Right.
And we didn't really wrap our head around that story. And I see the Faith versus Mary, that won't work. I mean, Faith actually is dynamic with the pen, but I don't know that Faith can go head to head with Mary. She has some brilliant albums, but I don't think she could go. But she's a producer. She's written, she's written for, I think, Donnell Jones, for Usher, so she's and Mary. She's written for Mary J.
And it's 2 points. Another person I don't think that should battle was Nas. Nas doesn't need to battle with anyone. And just speaking on Mary, to have that aspect of her just to sit there and kind of like talk about an album, because I just found out that Prince Marky D from the Fat Boys produced like bangers off her first album, and I was
wow,
like,
yeah, see,
yeah. See? Yeah. You learn these things, man, and not to say that I know it all, but I do know a lot when it comes to music. I was like, I was like, damn, I had to go back and look. Prince Marky D. So,
I said Missy versus Busta Rhymes. Praying, you right, man. Tim Billboard's. It's so many. I mean, like, what they're doing with verses is that's you're a bona fide superstar.
Oh yeah.
Now you can have a second tier that's not the bona fide superstars like other people. Now I don't know if there's a way you can actually do this, but Boyz II Men Jodeci could work. That would be a good one. But how are you gonna get all these cats? So you're gonna have
get them all in the same group.
Yeah. But that would be a fun one.
I would like to see Big Daddy Kane go up against somebody, but who would it be?
Big Daddy, yeah. I mean, even did Big Daddy have 20 to go up against somebody? Think about that. He got some hits, but
Big Daddy
had 20 hits.
He got some hits. He got 20.
But it's been a lot of Jagged Edge versus 112 would be fun. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Again, getting all of them in one room, or who's going to represent. One thing that this has taught me: these rich people or well-off people or these big-time producers, they are so used to having people do stuff for them that they can't even get their internet connection right.
Yeah,
we regular cats, and we fine, and I think people can hear us fine. And if I wanted to play some music, we'd get it through fine. But man, Teddy Riley, that was just a comedy show that first night, man. He tried to do too much, but man, and Babyface is doing his Wait and Exhale, Wait and Exhale, Wait and Exhale on Sunday. He's doing it this Sunday now. He postponed it after Andre Harrell passed away, which, again, he basically made our entire, if you ever had a crush, he had an artist who made a record that relates to that, if you're from our generation, man. Just amazing.
He's the playlist. If you are a Black Gen Xer, he's the playlist to your life.
Absolutely, man. So I've listened to a lot of those types, but that music, I watched one, Teddy Riley did it and had Breon, who loves the camera now. That guy loves the camera. But Jamie Foxx, they did a little dedication on, I can't keep track of the nights, one of the nights this past week. But yeah, it's been fun, man. The music has been a lifesaver. Literally just allows you to escape. And I want to use this moment to say something that I've been saying a lot. that people have to take care of their mental health in this situation, man, because this is a different level of stress. No one's used to this. No one's used to being quarantined for as long as we've been quarantined. And then you have the additional stressor of not knowing how you're going to go back to work when you go back, if you go back, so.
If you go back. But, and it's funny that you say that too, TJ, because I always say, like, music is like the best medicine that a doctor can never prescribe. And it allows you to just, escape from whatever it is that you're going through and more or less just kind of center yourself and get back to
Hey, Nelly, you froze on my end. Can you hear
me?
Yeah,
yeah, I'm good. I know. Yeah, you froze. You froze for a hot second. See, that's what you get for talking about how great this is, and then you put out that bad mojo. And then,
I think that's you. I think you're trying to do too much over there. You must have a production company or something with you.
I'm in Studio B, aka the basement. Everything is cool and kosher over here, and we good to go, man.
Well, as long as you still got me, we good.
Yeah, we good. So check it out, man. So I know, like a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, you had jumped on. I was doing some hip hop trivia.
Oh, yeah.
Fun. So I figured we have a little fun tonight and test your hip hop knowledge, my brother.
Oh boy, put me on the spot. All right, let's go.
Since you called me Nelly. All right. Oh, these are easy too, yo. Real easy. In 1997, Jay-Z released his second LP. What is the title? Is it A, In My Lifetime Volume 1, B, Reasonable Doubt, C, The Black Album, or D, Blueprint?
This In My Lifetime Volume 1.
There you go. That's what's up.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was the one that had is not Imaginary Playmates. I'm trying to think. It's something on there that one particular record that I really like on that album. But yeah.
I like to play.
You're wrong, Pretty Lips.
And you wrong. You're wrong. D. I love to play this because people just be way off, yo. And that's another thing. That's another thing I like going in when whenever I'm in like club quarantine with D Nice and he'll play a record and people be like, oh, who? I'm like, it's the easiest thing ever. And they be like, what's this? Who's this? I like trolling people and just make them feel bad for not knowing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a good time though.
All right,
what you got?
Which of the following was not a track on the Fugees' 1996 LP, The Score? Is it Killing Me Softly, Lost Ones, Ready or Not, or Zealots?
Lost Ones, Jack. That joint, somebody played that the other night. Man, that joint rock. I mean, when I say Lauren killed it, that's why 1998 was when The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill came out. And I will say, in the past 25 years, that is among probably my top 5 albums.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. And it's sad, too, man, the fact that whenever she does go and perform, she can't perform the song as it was produced.
Yeah. Yo, I'll say this. I walked, Kai, come on.
Ready or Not? Come on, man. Oh, my
God. That's why this is good. But so, Summerfest, man, one of my favorite events to go to was Summerfest. I say Spirit Fest out at Maryville. DC, Baltimore collide. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Chuck Brown used to be there every year. But I last saw Lauryn Hill there, and I'm ashamed to say I had to walk out on her because, of course, she was late. And we already know that. And then when she started singing these different renditions of the song, it's like, man, that's not what people want to hear. Half the crowd walked out, man.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't pay your producers.
What you got? What you got? Come on, stump me.
All right. Oh, well, that's too easy, man. And that's easy too. That's easy. Oh, here we go. Name Mobb Deep's debut album. Name
who?
Mobb Deep's debut album. Mobb Deep. Is it coming out hard? Episodes of a Hustler, Juvenile Hell, or The Untold Truth?
Damn. Ah, man, I'm already stumped. You got me. I'm gonna go with D.
Nah, Juvenile Hell. That was when they was bad young on the cover, man. They was like
Yes.
17 years old.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. That was good. That was good. Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember that title, I should say.
All right, here we go. We'll do one. We'll do two more.
All right.
All right. What sports team apparel was NWA famously known for wearing? That's easy.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. That don't even need to be multiple choice. And it's funny. So, talking about music and listening as we've been reminiscing, especially over New Jack Swing. So,
Right.
people watching New Jack Swing era, that 88 to 92, that time frame. We all over here on the East Coast, and we got Kid and Play, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. We all having a good old time. We listen to all that music at NWA and the West Coast. They talking about robbing people and killing people. They went hard.
Right.
When they came in, they changed the music game. But the answer is the Raiders. And,
right.
and when they came in, the LA Kings, you can actually, that's probably got two answers to it because they were the LA Kings too. Maybe Above the Law was more famous for the LA Kings, but man, they came in with the all black, scaring people and all kinds of carrying on. And I hate to say it, man, music was, it was a different type of fun in those years. You could even, I mean, again, that New Jack era with Heavy D, Father MC, all the music was just fun-loving. You trying to holler at a girl, man, oh man. When they paved the way to open it up for the next generation of gangster rap, if you want to call it that, woo, it got crazy and changed the rap game. Things got a little bit, you know, it wasn't about parties anymore.
There you go. All right, last one. We're going to end on this one. I know you're going to get this one. Who had the last verse on the remix version of Scenario? Was it Busta Rhymes, Charlie Brown, Hood, or Phife Dawg?
That was Busta Rhymes.
There you go.
Yeah, and what a great song. I mean, again, we talk about fun and music. I mean, think about that. Think about all these cats that just got together, whether it was Buddy, whether it was Scenario, the Jungle Brothers, all of that crew.
Yeah.
And it was just fun-loving music that came on. And at that time, we were between middle and high school, and we would have these middle school socials, or you going skating or whatever the case might be. Nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. When nobody
and think about all the producers that came from the native tongues. You know what I'm saying? That's where you got the Uma, of course, with Jay Dilla and Q-Tip, and it was just all that essence of just good music and just the foundation of just hip hop was right there, and it definitely created and paved the way for all of us, to say the least. Man.
Yeah, a lot of good times, a lot of good memories. You know, it's crazy though, because you know some of the DJs do their slow jam sets or whatever, and we all up in quarantine, and you just thinking, hey, I'm about to text somebody. You're like, oh, that was 20 years ago. I can't go texting them now.
hey, man.
You reminiscing. You ain't got them to do.
Reminiscing. But some things are just meant to be left alone, brother.
You leave it. Yeah, what you doing? What you mean when I'm doing? We ain't talking 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm just in quarantine. Had a lot of time to think, you know, listening to some music right now.
I just heard intro come inside. I was
I'm married with 3 kids. What you talking about? It's too late for you to be texting. I'm not trying to break up nobody's happy home. So you know, it's been fun. A lot of memories and reminiscing though.
That's indeed, man. Hey, look, man, before we wrap this thing up, man, I just wanted to give you the platform once again to speak to everybody out there as we get ready for Election Day. That is coming up very, very soon. And the floor is yours, brother.
Well, election is happening right. Matter of fact, hold on. I even got a prop. I didn't even mean to do this. It just happened because I finally got my ballot today. And let's see. There you go. There you go. Right there. I'm right there at the fold, you know? So
there you go.
If you're a sitting voter, I would be very appreciative if you bubbled in that circle with a black pen. It's like you're taking a freaking test, man. You got to have a number 2 pencil with a black pen, and you mail it in. It's free of charge. The envelope's included. You got to sign in like 2 different places. Make sure you do that. And Election Day ends June 2nd. This is the odd time that we're in, where you have a period of time to vote as opposed to a day to vote. So,
Right.
you know, if you need to learn more, go to my social media at TJ Smith Baltimore here on Instagram, TJ Smith Baltimore on Facebook, at TJ Smith Be More on Twitter. You know, I put out different information, different videos, and at tjsmithforbaltimore.com. You know, if you're a city resident, but it's beyond city residents. It doesn't matter. If you have an interest in our city, you should be paying attention to what happens. And I appreciate the time to chop it up, man. It was nice. Like a moment like this allows me to escape again, where I can forget that I'm running for mayor in the midst of this stress box that we're in, to have normal conversation, especially on social media, because everything can't always be super serious. So everybody be safe, be well, you know, take care of yourself and others. And I do want to just say this real quick public service announcement, because what we saw, I think that was this past weekend, with all the people gathering in all parts of the city, mainly young people, and some wanted to make a racial issue out of it. It's not, don't make it a racial issue. Young people and rather healthy people are going to be able to fight this virus off, and it won't take them out, right? But what you can do is be an asymptomatic carrier of this virus, and you can take it back to your older loved ones, or you can take it back to your older coworkers, and you can kill them. Right. So be responsible in understanding that you can be the one that contributes to somebody else's health nightmare, even if you can beat it. So don't take advantage of the fact that we might be healthy enough to beat it. So abide by the rules, and hopefully they'll start relaxing some things, but just make sure you're being smart when they do start doing that.
Word up, man. And that holds weight, especially for this weekend, with it being a holiday weekend.
Man, I ain't going to cookouts. And I'm going to tell y'all now, if you're going to go to, I mean, look, if you're going to go to a cookout, be responsible when you leave it and quarantine yourself for 2 weeks, because the odds are extremely high that someone has it that you're going to encounter. And it's not necessarily about you as it is about someone else that doesn't have the immune system you have. And and that's how we can tamp this down. I hope that we don't show off this weekend, man, but we shall see.
One thing we do have to look forward to is Buju Banton against Beanie Man on Versus. Massive time. That's going to be crazy.
That'll be fun. So everybody should just turn their lights out. And you know how it is with the reggae stuff, all kinds of yelling and screaming in the middle of the record, and they keep turning the volume up and down over and over and over again. So that actually is going to be
that's going to be fun.
That's going to be really going to be a really good one, and it's going to also bring back a lot of memories.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yo, so on the real, man, TJ, thank you for your time tonight, man.
Appreciate you,
much love to you. I wish you continued success. Good luck to you in this mayoral race. I know, like I said, at the end of the day, whatever happens, you're going to be all right, brother.
Oh, we're going to be all right one way or another. And we'll have to do this again, my brother. Appreciate you. Be safe.
You too, man. Thank you again. And thank you all for taking some time out to listen tonight. This is Dope Chats with Stretch, coming to you from Studio B, the basement, with my man, TJ Smith. All right, one time. Peace.
Take care.